The reason for the creation of the organizations like Organization of African Unity, OAU, which precedes the current organization AU, is actually to make Africa independent in all senses. One, complete decolonization of African countries, economic independence, integration among African countries, extra. So I think the need for finding African solutions to African problems, as we label it today, is a notion or an idea that time has come for. Well, it doesn't exclude international relations. It doesn't exclude cooperations with the rest of the world. But it means Africa should lead in finding solutions for the problems that arises within Africa. It should not be misunderstood, by the way. We should be careful. It doesn't mean Africa should run out of or go out of cooperations. Cooperation is important. Relation with the rest of the world is very important. Working with the rest of the world is very important, even when we find the solutions to our problems. But Africa should lead instead of going for prescriptions by others. Prescriptions may not feed African gesture. Prescriptions may not feed African interest or may not meet African demand. Nowadays is a notion which Ethiopia is leading because for the problem which have been created in the northern part of Ethiopia recently, Ethiopia has been seeking for African solutions. Not only for that, for the issues around the Grand Renaissance Dam is a case in point where we, Ethiopia leadership, is seeking for African solutions always. We're pushing for it. At times, this issue of the Grand Renaissance Dam, especially what we call the tripartite dialogue, the tripartite talks between the three countries, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan, have been pushed our way and to go to the rest of the world, out of Africa, but by virtue of our attempts, by Ethiopian attempts, diplomatic success, we brought it back to the African fold. We still believe that solutions can be obtained here. This is Africa River. These countries are Africans. The misunderstanding is within an African countries. And so we can find a solution to it. We are mature enough, we are capable of finding solutions to our problems. We should be proud of this, and we appeal to others as well. Well, it means a lot to both Ethiopia and Africa. Ethiopia, as a country, has successfully had a successful tour in this diplomatic venture, whereby it has been proposing all those African solutions to the problem in the northern part of Ethiopia, and that has been realized. It means peace to Ethiopia. It means stability to Ethiopia. It's a big breakthrough. It means security to Ethiopia. It means creating conducive situations for the socio-economic development for Ethiopia. For Africa as well, it's a lot because it is Africa will be vindictive in the sense that there is a realization of the fact that African problems can be solved by Africans themselves. It's the African Union that led this process in South Africa. It is successful. It's a breakthrough. It's also a big lesson to the rest of the world that Africa can handle its own problem by itself. And, it's a big time incentive for African continent, for Ethiopia as well, that Africa can take care of its own problem by itself. And this is a time to really celebrate, and it's a momentum to be kept and to be capitalized on as well.
The people of Ethiopia expected more than the text of this agreement. They demand peace and harmony. They desire development.